So we get many, many calls about our strategy for maximizing your credit score with a strategic credit card payment plan. And I wanted to go over that with you and share with you. We get this all the time, so I do this on a regular basis to give you this information. But here's how we want to share with you to maximize your FICO score, your credit score, by paying your credit cards the right way, or at least the right way to maximize that score. So, as you know, as we've talked about 30% of your FICO score comes from your payment or your credit utilization rate. That's your credit utilization rate. What is a credit utilization rate? So, credit utilization is simply taking the amount of your bill. So, let's use it hypothetically. Your statement comes out, you've got a $900 balance, you've got a limit on your credit card of $1,000. That's a 90% utilization rate, and it's going to negatively impact your FICO score. 70%, 90%, over 100%, all three of those are breaks that we understand will negatively impact your FICO score. Ideally, you want to be above zero, so even if it's 10 cents, below 10%, that's the best, and then, or below 30%, that's next best. But let's continue this conversation. How do you do it to maximize your score? So credit cards generally only report their status on the statement closing date. There's two dates on your credit card on your credit card statement that are important. It's the statement closing date and the due date. Both very important dates. So the credit card companies will report to the bureaus on or right after the statement closing date. So let's just say the 25th of the month is your statement closing date, 25th, 26th, 27th. They're going to report to the bureaus. They're going to look at your balance at that snapshot of the statement closing date. You've got a $900 balance or $905, $910, whatever. You've got a limit of $1,000. You're at a 90% utilization, not good for your score. They say, oh, Ron, I pay it right after I get it. Well, that's all well and good, but that payment does not trigger a report. So you paid that $900, and throughout the month you went and you did your normal things. Yeah, went to the car wash, you went to Starbucks, you went to dinner, you went to a movie, whatever you do. And by the time we get to the statement closing date, you're back at $950. You're still over that 90% utilization rate. So you never really got the FICO benefit of paying that off. Now, you did get the benefit of paying on time. That's 35% of your score, roughly. So you did get that benefit, but you still lost on the other 30%. So what do? So what I want you to do is about a week before that statement closing date. So hypothetically, if that statement closing date is the 25th, say about on the 18th, I want you to go online and look what your balance is. Pay as much as you can, maybe even pay it all off. Leave a few pennies on there so it helps the algorithms. But pay as much as you can. That way, when the statement comes out, well, if you made that same $900 payment, you say, hey, Ron, I paid it off. Well, pay it a few days earlier. You paid off that $900. When they report, now say you've got a $100 balance. Maybe you've got a $50 balance. Maybe you've got less than that. Now they do that same calculation that we've talked about. And let's say you've got a $50 balance on a $1,000 card. Okay, now you've got a great utilization rate because it's under that 10%, right? So you're well under that. You're doing great. It reports on the 25th, same as it did as we talked about before, but now you're under that 10%. It's going to help your FICO score. Now, you say, Ron, what about the payment due date? Well, what I want you to do there is go on the payment due date and just go into your bank and make a automatic payment for a minimum amount, maybe $50 every month so it arrives before the 15th, arrive the 13th or 14th, whatever, 12th, just so you make sure it's there before the payment due date. We don't want you to have any late payments. And have that automatically sent so you don't even have to think about it. That's going to trigger, you're going to be making 2 payments every month. You're going to always be on time because of the automatic payment. You're going to check it early so that you pay the most you can before the statement closing date. That's going to maximize your FICO score. Now, one more little trick. You probably have a cell phone. You might even have a gas payment, internet payment, utility, electric payment, cable TV payment. Get a credit card for each one of those. Every one of those, we want to have a credit card for every one of those debts that you don't have to pay an extra fee for to pay on your credit card. Set it up so you're automatically making your payment on each credit card, your utility, each one of those fixed expenses gets automatically paid by that credit card. Then set up the day after you normally will be getting that bill. So you almost always get your internet bill the same day or your cable bill the same day every month. So set up an automatic banking payment for that credit card at your bank. So your bank automatically sends the credit card a payment for the amount of that bill. It's going to not, it might fluctuate a little if in the case of a gas bill or some of those things, but for the most part, they're going to be very standard every month. Send it right away. That way it always shows as being an active card, because if you stop using a credit card, it's going to show as inactive at the bureau, and then they're not going to count it as much over time. So that's just another strategy. So the bureaus see that you've got 3 or 4 active credit cards being used all the time, paid all the time, and always with a balance that's very, very minimal or nothing. That's Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it's wrong. What are you doing about it? Credit Sanitizer has the solution for you.